We all need a treat now and again, so what better way to treat ourselves or someone you love with this full English breakfast wrap with baked bean puree and cheesy ends. With a tiny tweak here and there on some everyday ingredients and a little extra care, we really can create something extra special. You wake someone up for breakfast in bed with this, they are gonna love you long time. Yes, it's me, Gregory D, and great to have you back in the fake kitchen. And by the way, don't pay any attention to how creased this apron is. I thought I could get away without ironing it. Clearly not. So to start, we're going to get our beans on. We're going to boil these nice and hard, and I've got a handful of cherry tomatoes and a handful of mushrooms. I'm going to cut the tomatoes in half and slice the mushrooms whilst keeping an eye on those beans. By the way, we were making 2 wraps here, and I'm using foil because I don't want the tomatoes and mushrooms falling through the gaps in the grill. And on top, we're going to smack on some British back smoked bacon, 4 rashers of that, straight on top of the tomatoes and mushrooms, which is going to allow the tomatoes and mushrooms to cook in the bacon fat. Next to that, we pop on the hash browns. These are just frozen hash browns. And now comes the sausage burger making. Now with this, you can buy sausage burgers. Me personally though, I prefer to get the top end sausages in the supermarket and form them myself, simply because I feel that they're probably a bit better quality and I can get exactly what I want. And there's nothing better than a handmade sausage burger, let's be honest. So pop them into patties, squeeze 2 sausages to 1 patty. I'm using 4 sausages in total. There we go. And we're away. Look at that, that's ready to go under the grill. I'm going to pop that under the grill after I've taken these beans off. You see how those beans are looking very well cooked? So that's what we want, nice soft beans. So they go under the grill. Meanwhile, I'm going to pop our eggs on. So we only need 1 egg per wrap. Scrambled, salt, pepper, and then into a pan with some olive oil or vegetable oil. And just keep those moving until they come together. Next, I'm ready to blitz these beans up to start to form our puree. I'm just going to use a hand blender. Get those nice and creamy. It takes a few moments here just to get things creamy. You don't want any lumps, any beans left. And as soon as that's done, pop it to one side, ready for our flavourings later on. Keep those eggs moving. And they're about ready. Off the gas. The great thing with this is, it doesn't matter if things aren't ready at the same time, because we're going to warm up everything once it's in the wrap anyway. So don't worry about taking things off early and waiting for other ingredients. It's fine. So we give these a quick turn then, and you'll find that it frees up a bit of space on the bacon side as the bacon starts to shrink, and you can separate and just allow the tomatoes and mushrooms direct access to the grill. Back to our beans then, in goes 2 teaspoons of brown sugar and a few pinches of cayenne pepper, and give it another blitz. Cayenne pepper's a spice, you'll find it in any supermarket with the spices. It begins with C, so it's C-A-Y. Everything's in alphabetical order usually in the spices area, so you shouldn't have a problem finding it. It's very spicy and hot, so just go easy with it and taste along the way. And you're probably thinking, it's breakfast, I don't want heat in it. You probably won't taste it, just don't go over the top. Just enough to just give you that little kick. I like quite a lot, so hence the reason I'm putting quite a bit in. So our bacon and tomatoes and mushrooms are done. Our hash browns are also done. And our sausage burgers probably just need another 5 minutes, so they're going to go back in. Now for the exciting part, ready for the build. Just warm these tortillas up a little bit first. It allows them to be a bit more flexible, because we're going to be pushing these to the limit with the amount of stuff we're putting in. Then goes the baked bean puree, then goes the cheese, then goes the hash brown, then the sausage burger, the tomatoes go on next, then the bacon, then the mushroom, and then finally the egg, topped off with a bit more baked bean puree and a load more cheese, and the wrap is underway. Now don't worry about the ends, because we're going to fill those with cheese, and that's all going to lick together in that pan. So I'm using a griddle pan here. You can use a normal frying pan if you don't have one, that's not a problem. And when I said don't worry about the ends, what I meant is nothing's gonna fall out of this wrap. The cheese is our adhesive. Notice how I'll put the wrap with the longest side facing the pan at first, so the cheese doesn't fall out. Gives everything time to melt in and become one unit. When you feel that it's time to turn, have a little turn of that. Give it a few more minutes, and then we're ready to serve. A nice cut at an angle. I'm gonna pop that on a plate with some tomatoes and mushrooms and a little bit of cut spinach, and we are in business. Now that is just beautiful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know it makes sense.